So I had planned to do a Firefly Chats on all the recent The Last of Us news that came out of Summer Games Fest last week, but unfortunately there were some technical difficulties with my guest, so instead I thought I'd whip together a quick video on my thoughts about the remake announcement, the first proper look at Joel and Ellie from the HBO series, and the teasers for the standalone multiplayer game. So first up, we got a reveal trailer for the long-rumoured PS5 remake. Titled The Last of Us Part 1, the game is being remade almost completely from the ground up, overhauling the original game's character models, environments, and gameplay. The character models are technically quite impressive, definitely matching Part 2's much more closely, with some characters like Tess, for example, looking completely different. It's an incredible level of detail, and they certainly look more like real people, but I have to say I quite like the semi-stylized look of the original characters, so it's definitely something I'm going to have to adjust to. Thankfully, it seems based on the trailer that the original actors' performances are being carried over, which I'm incredibly relieved about, since I think from an acting perspective, the original game is flawless, and having the actors redo all of their scenes I feel would only hurt the game. I wouldn't be surprised though if some new dialogue is added, perhaps a few more interactions between Joel and Ellie, with Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson returning, though I really don't think it's necessary. I would also expect Derek Phillips to have recorded new dialogue as Jerry, replacing the original surgeon, with the character model updated to match Part 2. The trailer also features scenes from Left Behind, confirming its inclusion, and I'd actually really like to see an option to weave Left Behind into the main story. The official description for the game mentions, quote, modernized gameplay, so you can expect several of Part 2's additions to be featured here, like going prone and a more in-depth melee system. I also wouldn't be surprised if dogs feature in the game too. More interestingly though, the description goes on to mention, quote, enhanced exploration and combat, so we may potentially see new levels or areas to discover. The inclusion of features like going prone does have a knock-on effect, since it requires a reworking of the level design to accommodate cars you can crawl under and tall grass you can hide in. It's definitely an indication that this remake is more than just a fresh coat of paint, which is why Sony probably feels justified charging full price for it. There are two versions of the game available, the standard edition for $70 and the US PlayStation Direct exclusive Firefly edition for $100, which comes with a reprint variant of The Last of Us American Dreams issue 1-4. Big shout out to Efrain over at Pass.1 Comics, who was kind enough to grab me a copy before it immediately sold out. Pre-order bonuses also confirm the game will feature new weapons like Part 2's explosive arrows. Next, we got our first proper look at Pedro Pascal's Joel and Bella Ramsay's Ellie from the HBO adaptation. This is only the second official still released for the series, after the teaser shot from a few months ago. While the cavalcade of set photos that have leaked over the past few months kinda dampers the impact of this image, one exciting aspect is that it gives us our first glimpse at the series' clickers, with one visible in the center of the photo. Lastly, we got a few details from Neil Druckmann about the upcoming standalone multiplayer game, along with a single piece of concept art. Druckmann stated, quote, the game is as big as any of our single-player games, and in some ways bigger. He also confirmed it will have a story of its own, and introduce a brand new cast of characters. Considering narrative is one of Naughty Dog's strongest aspects, I'm very happy to hear this. There's a couple of details from the concept art that I think may clue us into some of the game's features. Firstly, based on the appearance of the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, it seems the game is at least partly set in San Francisco. In the foreground, you can see two survivors firing from a balcony, which is overlooking another survivor hiding from a group of infected. This indicates to me that the game will feature some kind of co-op mode, or at the very least, infected will show up during competitive matches. Druckmann confirmed more details will be revealed next year, and with the HBO series launching summer 2023, I'd imagine the game will launch roughly around the same time. While I was passively looking forward to more The Last of Us multiplayer, the level of ambition Naughty Dog is conveying for this game has definitely increased my excitement for it. Considering the studio's penchant for delivering single-player experiences that raise the bar for every other game that follows, I can definitely imagine the possibility that Naughty Dog could do the same thing for multiplayer. So those are just some of my thoughts, but what was your favorite piece of The Last of Us news to come out over the past week? Are you happy with Part 1's graphical improvements? And what would you like to see from the multiplayer? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, endure and survive, and I will see you next time.